If you saw my last reading vlog, you'd know that I recently finished Circe by Madeline Miller, and it has really made me want to read more about Greek mythology and stories that are set in that kind of world. So I think today is finally the day that I pick up the Lore Olympus graphic novel series. I have not read a single page from any of these, but I bought the first one like when it first came out in paperback when I found out it was about Greek mythology, and then every time a new one came out I would just buy it even though I haven't read any of it yet. So I'm really hoping that I love these, because if I don't, I just bought 5 books for basically nothing, and that would be quite depressing. But I've been looking forward to finally reading these for a while. I just feel like Greek mythology is where it's at right now for me. And then I also just checked out another audiobook from Libby, and that is Becoming by Michelle Obama. This one is, I think, about 19 hours long, and it has very, very good reviews. A lot of people really love it. I love to kind of have an audiobook on the go, so then whenever I just do like my everyday like household chores, I have something to listen to. And also lately I've really been loving listening to nonfiction, like autobiography style audiobooks. I'm going to be listening to that one for the next like week or so as well. But for right now, I think I'm just gonna cozy up in my reading chair and start Lore Olympus Volume 1. I am now about a third of the way through the first volume of Lore Olympus, and I'm really enjoying this so far. The art style of it is definitely very unique. It's very colorful and vivid, and I'm really loving that aspect of it. And it's also quite funny at times. This volume is a modern take on the Hades and Persephone myth. That's gotta be definitely one of my favorites romance-wise, and obviously it's a lot of people's favorite romance-wise as well, and that's why there are so many different book adaptations of that specific myth. But this is definitely a very interesting take on it, and I can't wait to get into more. I'm not sure if the other volumes are all about Hades and Persephone as well, or if it's other gods and goddesses, but I guess there is only one way to find out. So I am going to sit here and probably read a little bit more, and then I think I'm going to pop my earbuds in and start Becoming by Michelle Obama while I fold some laundry and probably do some dishes and such. But I will talk to you guys once I have made more progress with either of those. I just got home from a beautiful walk through the forest with my boyfriend. It was quite cold, actually, like I think -11 today, but the sun was out, so it wasn't too bad, and we had a fresh snow yesterday, so the trees were gorgeous, and the sunshine on the snow is always so beautiful. So now I'm definitely in a cozy reading mood. once again. Last night I actually got 22% of the way into Becoming. I listened to it while I folded some laundry and did the dishes, and then I also played The Sims while listening to it. Like, did that for a few hours, so it's really good so far. I wasn't sure exactly what Michelle Obama would be discussing, if it was just going to be about being the first lady or if it was going to be her life. And it is about her life, so right now she's still talking about her like teenage to college years, but she does start from when she was a little girl and growing up and such. There's still 3/4 of the book left, so I'm sure she's going to be talking a lot about living in the White House and stuff like that. I don't know, it's very intriguing, very interesting. I love hearing and reading about people's life stories, and you get to kind of learn about different people's experiences. I feel very fortunate to live in this era where we have so much access to so many different people's stories. And then I also finished volume 1 of Lore Olympus last night. I'm rating this one 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. But now I'm going to start volume 2 of Lore Olympus. This one, I'm assuming we're continuing with Persephone and Hades. I like that Rachel Smith integrated other gods and goddesses into the story and weaved them in. But anyways, now I am just going to curl up and start volume 2 of Lore Olympus. I just have to say, I really am loving the banter between Persephone and Hades. It is so well written and it's so cute. It's literally like making me giddy. I just read volume 2 of Lore Olympus in one sitting. That wasn't exactly my intention, but I just did not want to put it down. I love this story so much, and I love this version of it, this adaptation. It is so much fun to read. So I'm definitely rating this one 5 stars as well, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not quite happy with where it left off. It kind of just feels like a cliffhanger, but not a cliffhanger at the same time. I don't know, but I am definitely going to start volume 3 right this second because I need to know what happens next. The other night, I ended up finishing volume 3 of Lore Olympus, and this one is definitely also another 5 stars. I did not want it to end, and it definitely gave more depth into Persephone's background and also Hades' relationship with like love and relationships in general and himself. And so that was a really fun thing to kind of get to see a little glimpse of, and I'm hoping that there's more of that in the upcoming volumes. I'm really loving this graphic novel series, and I'm so glad that I finally decided to pick it up. It definitely does not disappoint. I am also loving how there are different little like Greek mythology sort of Easter eggs within it, where if you know Greek mythology really well, you'll get certain references that they're making, and if you don't know it really well, you just, I feel like, would pass over it and it wouldn't really make that big of a difference to you. It could also spark some desire to maybe look into it a little bit more and like research a little bit more around Greek mythology. And then over the past couple of days, I've also still been listening to Becoming by Michelle Obama, and I am now 51% of the way into that one. I listened to it while I was playing The Sims, but then I also listened to it while I was like cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. I'm really loving audiobooks for the fact that I can kind of multitask with them, so like read while just doing everyday stuff. But anyways, Becoming is really, really well written, and I am absolutely loving it. Michelle Obama has an amazing way with words, and there was actually a point where I did cry and I had to turn it off and give myself a little bit of a break because it was a really heavy couple of chapters. She was talking about the death of her friend and then the death of her father and then just the feeling of grief. She really did a good job of putting grief into words, and that really hit home for me. So I definitely had to put it down for a little bit and just kind of let myself breathe and take a little break before getting back into it. But now I've gotten back into it and gotten past that. I'm not sure if there's anything like that upcoming again, and if there is, I'll probably just treat it the same way and take it one page at a time. Even though it made me cry, I mean, obviously that means she did a really good job writing that section of her book, because it obviously had a very big impact on me and is definitely one that I'm going to remember probably forever. So I do think that I'm going to continue listening to that one later tonight. I might do some yoga and just pop in my earbuds and listen to some more of Becoming. But then I also right now want to start volume 4 of Lore Olympus because I really want to find out what happens next with Hades and Persephone and some of the other side plots that are kind of happening within this as well. The side plots are just as good as like the main one. So all around, it's a very good, well-rounded graphic novel series. So now I am going to sit here and start volume 4. Last night I finished volume 4 of Lore Olympus, and once again, this is another 5 stars. Really love how in-depth we got with some more of the characters, and I'm loving how the story is progressing so far. Then this morning I actually started reading volume 5 of Lore Olympus. I didn't get very far, only like, I don't know if you can even see the bookmark, but probably only like 20 pages into it, but I really felt like just reading it once I got up this morning, and I'm really loving it, this one so far as well. This series is giving me such 5-star vibes, and I don't think that there's any possible way that I'm not going to rate this one 5 stars unless something really like horrible happens in it. I don't know. Definitely 5-star vibes for me, and I'm loving the art style and just the story in general. And if you love Greek mythology retellings, highly recommend this one. And then I'm also now 70% into Becoming. I listened to that one while I did some yoga the past couple nights, and also while playing The Sims, and I think today I'm going to listen to it again while playing The Sims and maybe doing some more yoga, because I only now have 2 days to finish it before it's due back to my library. And then I also probably am going to finish Lore Olympus Volume 5 today. I just don't want to stop reading it. It is so good. But first I think I'm going to go for a walk with my boyfriend because it is absolutely gorgeous outside. And where I live, if it is 2 degrees and sunny in February, it is not to be wasted. So I think I'm going to go do that first, and then I will talk to you guys later when I get some more reading done. Just finished volume 5 of Lore Olympus, and I'm also rating this one 5 stars. I am loving this series, and I'm so glad that there is a 6th and 7th volume coming out, I think this year. I already went ahead and pre-ordered the 6th volume, and I cannot wait until that arrives. I'm really enjoying these characters a lot. I think the only one complaint I have so far is that the romance between Hades and Persephone is being really drawn out. I'm hoping that in the next volume we get to see a little bit more of them together. Definitely a 5-star series for me so far, and hopefully the upcoming volumes live up to these ones. Then earlier I also finished Becoming by Michelle Obama, and I don't rate autobiographies, but I will say that this one was very well written. I loved the audiobook. Michelle Obama narrates it so well. I personally don't really enjoy politics. I don't enjoy talking about politics, and I think that they tend to bring out the worst in people. So I was pretty hesitant to read this book, but for some reason I just suddenly felt the pull to read it. But it turns out Michelle Obama also has similar opinions to me on politics, and so that definitely made it a lot more enjoyable to me to read, and it was so interesting to read about her story and learn about how she even got to where she was, and how Barack Obama kind of even got into politics, and how she was kind of hesitant about it throughout his entire political career. I found that very interesting, and I just love learning about other people's lives and experiences. I think it's amazing that we have this ability to do so. I highly recommend this one, even if you do not like politics, because I really enjoyed it and I myself do not like politics. But anyways, I think I'm going to leave this reading vlog here. I feel like this is a very good place to leave it. So I hope you all have a great rest of your week and happy reading.